Hey, welcome to the Discover Fort Smith podcast. I am your fill-in host. I think that's what I'm calling myself right now. Ashley Backer, I'm the executive director of Discover Fort Smith. We usually partner with the city. Josh is out, so you're stuck with me as the sub for Emily, and then I've got this,
Joe.
like, not even a sub. Like, I've got the world famous.
Oh, she is
Joe
so
Klein
sweet. All the time.
all the time, because you are phenomenal. Like you
you.
make us all look really good.
We have someone here more famous.
We really do. And again, like reading bios, and I'm just consistently floored by the people that we have in our community and we get a chance to talk with. But Chancellor Terisa Riley, welcome.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here with you all.
Oh my gosh. And we're on your campus. Thank you for letting us film on your campus.
We love to show off this beautiful place.
Yes. So we're in the Borum Library right now. Not disrupting hopefully too many of your students while they're, doing their thing. But greatly appreciate you allowing us to be in this space. And we were just over at Starbucks. Like we were enjoying campus like we were students. So.
You know what? And to prove that we were at Starbucks, I just thought about this, and I'm not going to cut this out. You can even see a Starbucks cup in the window right there.
Yeah. It's like right there. It's legit. I'm not lying. I have a passion for it. So anyways, back to what we're supposed to be here for. So tell us a little bit about you, because you have an interesting background pathway into what you're doing right now. So like, let everybody know.
Oh, sure. My gosh. What a big opening, right? So I've been in higher education for about 35 years and love being the chancellor at UA Fort Smith, but had a very interesting pathway. Started off as a first-generation college student and grew up pretty poor. And so for me, college it wasn't even something we talked about at home. And I had a lot of mentors who led me to want to go to college, and I worked 3 jobs to get through college.
Wow.
And so I was constantly working. I often tell my students the story that I would have to skip class to go work to earn the money that it cost to pay for the class I just skipped.
Wow.
Like it just didn't make any sense at all. I got very lucky. And when I was an undergrad, I became a resident assistant in a residence hall on campus. And that's when the bug bit that I could work at a university for my whole career and help students to navigate the bureaucracy and make it accessible and affordable for students. It was just amazing to me to think I could make it easier for students than I'd had it myself. So I've spent my whole career trying to do just that.
And what's home for you during that time growing up?
Yeah, I grew up in Missouri. And so we sort of consider it a subdivision of Arkansas, if you will. No, just kidding. I grew up in the Ozarks, on the northern side of the Ozarks in Rolla, Missouri, and went to the University of Missouri-Columbia for my bachelor's and master's degrees, and then to St. Louis University for my PhD.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what do family and friends think about like your pathway and like them being a part of that story, I'm sure.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Well, so my sisters, I have 3 younger sisters, and I was sort of the role model for the pathway and the ability to go to college for them. I knew that I couldn't drop out of college because that would tell them they could also stop. So I had to keep going. So they really motivated me as much as I think I've motivated them. My children just call me kind of like the boss lady, the powerhouse woman who's very strong and confident and independent, but ultimately trying to show them the pathway of what education can do for you and create that opportunity for generations to come.
That's awesome. Yes.
So how long have you been the chancellor? Tell everybody.
This is my 7th school year. I started July 1st, 2019, which is just, it feels like it was 10 minutes ago. I feel like I'm still discovering new things and doing all kinds of new, fun, energetic things all the time. And every time we have a new class of students who come in, that's, again, my opportunity to be re-energized by what the future holds here. So I've loved every minute of it.
And it seems very much like you very much connect with the students. Like I just saw pictures and video of you dancing with the students during the block party and being a part of that. So I feel like you're not the typical chancellor. Like I remember my college, I was like, I could have picked the guy
You give off cool mom vibes.
You do give
so
cool mom vibes. That is so, yes.
I always wanted to be the cool mom. So,
Nailed it.
I always say that my husband and I have 7 of our own kids and like 5,600 of other people's. So I don't mind that cool mom vibe. I think it's, I learn as much from our students as they learn from me. And so when you talk about me going out to dance, they're teaching me how to do the dance moves. And that's helping me to stay young and relevant with them and for them. That's really important, I think.
And just giving them that opportunity to have, like, see you in a different role, I'm
Yes.
sure gives them that access where it's like, okay, you are approachable. You're not this like higher being or anything like that,
Yeah,
which can be
so-
scary when you're thinking about, like, okay, I'm at college, I'm talking to the chancellor. Like,
Yes.
no, we were just dancing over here.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's important for students to know that they have cheerleaders, that they have people who want them to be successful. So from my perspective, the way that I do that is by being approachable, and I tell them all my email address, every social media handle that I've got, like, contact me. So I would say that not a day goes by that I don't get multiple private messages. I mean, they slide into my DMs and Instagram and,
Oh my
and
goodness.
TikTok and wherever else they are, that's where I am. And so I get lots of private questions and messages and inquiries like, I need help with this. I need to know about financial aid. I need a scholarship. I'm not making friends. What do I do? And I want to stay, but I'm scared. And so it's so much joy that I think it brings me for every single one of those students I help individually. And of course, many of them send me emails every day. Just this morning, I've had 4 or 5 student emails that have come in with questions or suggestions, and it's just fantastic to have that level of relationship with each one of them.
That's
awesome.
amazing what you're providing.
Yes. One of the things you mentioned is that, you were first generation in your home, and then also that, you grew up poor. So I'm curious of how do you think that translates now here? Because in the previous episode, we talked about how many of the students who go here are the first generation. And so is that part of the reason why you can connect so deeply with students? Are you thinking about those things as you're going throughout your day?
Absolutely. So I think 60% of our students at the University of Arkansas Fort Smith are first generation college students, which means their parents did not complete college. And then about 60% of them are Pell Grant eligible students, which again means that their families are not expected to be able to help to support them financially through college. I was that student. I identify with the majority of the students who are here on our campus. And ultimately, I think that is what drew me to work here. I wanted to be in a place where I knew that the gifts and talents and experiences I had to offer would actually make a meaningful difference in leadership at the institution, and it would support and benefit every student. So I think about it in every decision I make. What is best for our students is the question I ask in every decision.
That kind of leads me into,
And I was just going to say, can I just say, like, students are very lucky.
Yes,
the community is very, very
absolutely.
lucky.
Yeah, it's a
To
perfect
have that
match.
type of leadership.
Well, thank you. I think, again, we have a team that also resonates with that mission. So the team, the leaders across our campus, when you ask them, many of them identify as well. And so it means that we're all kind of rowing in the same direction,
Yes.
all interested in the successes of every single student, can see how easy it is to get off of the right pathway to completion and try to smooth out those barriers. That's a major, major part of our mission here.
Nice.
You mentioned that that's something that you think about in every decision, which kind of leads to the next question.
Sure.
What does it look like to be chancellor? Like, what's your day-to-day
Chancellor
life?
for a day.
Yeah, what are you, You
should auction that off.
Literally put us
I
in your
wanna do fun
shoes. What are
things.
you doing?
Yikes. Okay, well, I wear high heels every single day.
I'm out.
You're out. Sorry about that, Joe. I think several people would be out. But the truth is, it is a different day every day. There is no, 2 days that look and feel the same. Lots of strategy sessions. You might refer to them as meetings, but I refer to them as strategy sessions where we are talking through how do we succeed in carrying out our strategic plan as an organization, and how are we benefiting students in decisions that we're making. But a lot of activities. So I think I have the most fun job in the entire world. I mean, other people might think their jobs are fun. Great. But mine is the most fun because my job might include things like going to see a play, going to hear a recital or a concert, going to a sporting event, going to support a student organization. All of those things are part of my day-to-day work. Almost every day, if you look at my calendar, I have 2 or 3 events in the evening. And so it's sort of picking and choosing and then showing the love. So I try to make it to every different student organization or activity or event throughout the semester. I'm trying to go to every one of them. So I might stop in for half an hour and move on to the next thing, but every person knows I care enough to be there for them.
That's awesome.
Amazing. So you've been here for 7 years. What do you think are like the highlights of your 7
Yes.
years? Like because I look at this place
Yes.
and I hear about, I've only been here for 2 years. Like I hear about how far the university's come really under your leadership. And I think, okay, well, I don't know anything
Yes.
how it was before. So what are your highlights?
No, I think that's really fair. I inherited a fantastic place. So I never ever talk about what we've accomplished under my leadership without acknowledging all the fantastic things that I inherited from previous leaders. They did the place that we're in right now shows you just the commitment that they had to the mission of academics, creating fantastic spaces on our campus for students to live and learn and for employees to work and gather. And so I'm very grateful for that. So in the last 6 years, our team has weathered a lot. We've weathered a pandemic where
I was about to say, you were only here for a year.
I was not even here for a year. I
Yeah.
started in July and we had to close down in March. And our team, again, sat around the table thinking to ourselves, how do we retain our fantastic employees through all of this? And how do we support our students in all of this? And those were our two big questions. But coming out of the pandemic, I think we really invested in technology, as many universities did. The thing I'll acknowledge is that every week in the United States, a university or a college closes down post-pandemic. Every week.
Wow.
What?
Every
That's
week,
insane.
at least one college or university in the country has closed
Why is this?
because of the finances, because the cost of living increases, cost of doing business increases, and structurally as nonprofit organizations, we just don't have extra money to deal with massive increases in costs. And so our institution has weathered that really well. We've never had a layoff here in all of that time. I'm proud of some of these things that, other organizations announce layoffs all the time. They announce closures. We're really strong financially here. We're doing exceptionally well in adding academic programs.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of the construction work that we've done. We're making about a 20,000 square foot expansion on our Wingate Art and Design building. We've launched a capital campaign at the institution where we are raising $85 million to support the infrastructure and scholarships for this university to be sustainable. I always say now we've been in business for 97 years, and we definitely will be for another 97
Wow.
after this because of the fact that we're making, I think, tough choices as leaders, but it's constant. We owe it to the people of the River Valley to provide this level of excellent education, and every decision we make backs that up.
That's awesome. Yes.
So you talk about like the capital campaign, 85 million, big number. How are you guys attacking that with support of the community? And obviously people are watching, like, what would you say to them to support their community's institution? Because I
Absolutely.
keep hearing it's the community's.
Right. So I'm going to talk to them.
Yes.
An investment in the university is an investment in the River Valley. And that's just the truth. It is such a symbiotic relationship that we have with the entire western part of the state of Arkansas. So the students are growing up here. They're choosing to come to UAFS to get their educations. The majority of them are coming, about almost 50% of them come from Sebastian and Crawford counties. They want to stay in this community post-graduation and earn an income and raise their families and buy homes and purchase, make major purchases and go out to eat and, go to bookstores and do all of the things that a family does. And ultimately, it's because they received their degrees here that we are enabling them to stay in our community and to take those fantastic jobs that our employers have. But it also helps to sustain those employers by having the people who are ready day one for their jobs. And that's my job. To make sure each of them are ready. So you were right to say that people are investing in their university. It's not just a public university, it's this public's university. And by investing here in that capital campaign, investing in scholarships for their employees, and making sure that this is, again, affordable and attainable for every Arkansan, means that the River Valley just grows and strengthens in
Yes.
in the reach that we have and in our ability to attract new businesses.
Yes.
It's a very symbiotic relationship.
That's one of the things I honestly want to compliment that you guys do so well is keeping people here. That's one of the biggest problems that communities of this size face is you have someone who gets extremely talented or they excel or they do so great, but then they leave their town because their home can't support the lifestyle that they want to live. And there's so many people I've met in the community, Joanna being one of them.
So I'll say I've got one of my employees that is homegrown but came through your system, and I will brag on her and this university for setting her up for success and allowing that opportunity for her to be with us, because she is an absolute rock star because of her time with here, and she talks about it all the time.
And there's so many others. There's a lot of artists as well in the community. And it's just cool to see that they can stay where they grew up and live the lifestyle that they want to live. And I think that you guys make that possible, at least by showing them. Do a lot of the programs we just talked about in the last podcast. They're able to see that. And I just think it's cool. Yeah.
It is fantastic. See, again, I just told you I have the best job. And you were saying all the reasons why my job is the best job. So much fun.
So you guys go through the capital campaign, but what's the next 5 to 10 years look like? I mean, obviously you guys are thinking about that.
Oh, we sure are. So, yeah.
Is it more than 10 years? I guess that's the better question.
Okay, well, it's more like next 100 years.
Yeah.
So I don't plan to be here for 100. But what I can imagine and conceive of in the next 5 to 10 years, we have just started an advanced manufacturing engineering degree. And so we're working with our community partners to invest in that program to really create a structure of engineering for our whole community that's desperately needed. We are also kind of doubling down on healthcare. So one of the things that we're going to be starting up and promoting over the next year will be an associate's degree in respiratory therapy. When I meet with our local hospital CEOs, that's one of the areas where they have tremendous need and are paying a lot of extra money to bring people in as traveling respiratory therapists. And so we'll be producing respiratory therapists out of our healthcare program. So that's fantastic. We're working on the creation of a Center for Data Sciences. So where you're hearing about AI and machine learning across every industry, our students should be the ones who come out of these programs well equipped to make sure that they can operate and prompt those types of systems. I think that's really cool. And we're kind of on the cutting edge to start a Center for Data Sciences here. So that's incredibly important. We're doing listening tours right now. So I imagine what you're going to see there over the next 5 to 10 years is going to be a pretty major investment in that infrastructure, sort of big computing, big data sets for students to work with, and ultimately some pretty cool AI machines. And I've already seen some that our students are building in our AI lab, and it's something I would have watched on Star Trek as a kid and thought was so cool. Now we're just doing it.
That's so
and never
cool.
thought I'd see in my lifetime. So it's really innovative stuff that our students and their faculty are doing.
Yeah.
How much room for growth do you think you all have? When I drive into the campus, obviously it's kind of like tucked in. It's in the city. It's in the community. So I'm curious of how far can you actually grow? Do you know?
Joe,
have you thought
if they
about
want to
that?
come, I'll find them a place. I will find them a place on this campus. That's just not even a question mark. So we do have some property that we own that is really undeveloped, just green spaces right now that we could do some growth and development in on our campus. We have a 50-year facility master plan that we just created last year. So we truly have growth for the next 50 years plotted out on the properties that we own.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So Dr. Robertson, I think, did a great job of talking about kind of the programs and stuff like that.
Fantastic.
And such a great, I think, advocate for this place. And he's such a gem, I think, to you guys.
No question.
But as you go through, like, what are you hearing from students? You talked about them coming in and kind of some of the other stuff, but like when they're giving you this feedback, you talked to one of them was like, they're giving me suggestions. Like, what are they suggesting? And like, maybe what's one initiative that came out of a student that you guys were like, that. Like, yep, we're going to do that.
So, students come up with some of the best ideas about operating the institution because they're living it every day. So I often get suggestions that you might think are very small, but which are huge for those individuals and how they created even better quality of life. Like the students love it here. So it's not so much this doesn't work, I have a problem. It's much more about I want to reach out and do something different and new. A good example, just yesterday, I got an email from a student who said, hey, this is Suicide Prevention Month. And because I grapple with some mental health issues and realize that the strategies that have worked for me, I would love to just set up a table in our campus center one morning, give out donuts, because who's going to say no to a donut? This is a quote from the student. And just have like notes that they can pull out of a container that give them hope, that give them strategy, that let them know they're not alone. And in doing that, I will feel like, and she's a freshman, brand new to this campus.
Wow.
She's been here not 3 weeks. And she said, I want to make a difference here. I want to matter, and I want other people to know that they matter. Like, listen, right?
Yeah.
So
Wow.
this is the kind of student that comes to the University of Arkansas at Fort Smith, people who want to give and do for other people. So that's a little example that I think could make a huge impact for other people. And I'm just so thrilled that that's who we attract here, because that's the kind of thing I get on a daily basis. Now, I could point to big things, like it's our students who voted to have a recreation center. They taxed themselves by paying a student fee to have a beautiful facility. And ultimately, that was student-driven. To begin
amazing.
with. So students can create new spaces for themselves. We have a multicultural center because students advocated for that. And we just have all kinds of places and programs because students have advocated for them over the years. So we feel like it's incumbent upon us to always be listening for those great ideas and to be supportive of them. And then ultimately to help make those dreams come true for students.
Love that. We, so Discover Fort Smith, as a part of our social media a little bit ago, did a myth buster.
Ooh.
Like, here's the myths of Fort Smith, and it's things like there's nothing to do here, and then here's the laundry list and stuff like that.
So good.
If you had to do that, what would be kind of the myth, and how would you bust it?
Great question.
I know that was not a part of the interview questions we pre-sent.
Oh, I didn't prepare for that one. No, it's okay. So, it is just such a myth that this town is just small. Now, listen, what I love about Fort Smith, honestly, is that this is a city.
Yes.
So it has all the amenities of a city.
Yeah.
It really does. I don't leave Fort Smith to go shopping, to go do, because I never have to.
Yeah.
There are always things to do. So that myth of nothing to do is such a good one. I think it's the most prevalent one. I just told you on my calendar, I have 2 or 3 events or activities every day at night and on the weekend. The majority of those are free. Free, free.
Yes.
So it could be a concert, it could be a play, it could be, going for a walk at Carol Ann Cross Park, or going to Creekmore, or going to, the Marshall's Museum, maybe at a very small cost. But to have national kinds of recognized things in our community is huge. There's no way anybody should ever say that there's nothing to do here.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Myth about the university, though, that you would bust?
Yeah, okay, so here's the myth. The myth is people just settle for coming to UA Fort Smith. It's like, I don't want to go to the university in my backyard. I just take it for granted.
Yes.
And I'd much rather go to fill in the blank, other place. That is so untrue. So we did a survey of our first-year students last year, and 91% of those students said, this was my number one first choice school. I am thrilled I got in here. Because not everybody does. We do, unfortunately, have to tell some students that because we don't think that they would do well here, it's unethical for us to accept them, let them go into debt, and have nothing to show for that if they can't complete their degrees. So we are very careful and ethical about that. But ultimately, students are as close to 100% as I think I'll ever get, saying, this is my first choice. I am honored and thrilled to be admitted here. I'm excited to be a Lion. So I think I'll bust that myth on this podcast, because
Love that one.
that's not how students feel about this place. I love it here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I think my next question on this one is, when you think about kind of the student experience and you've got 91% that they want to come here and they're from this area, what's your biggest hope for them?
Graduation. I mean,
Yes.
I posted on Facebook before the school year started and on Instagram a picture of me in my regalia and said I start the semester with the end in mind.
Oh, I love that.
So the end for these students is the day they walk across the stage and I get the honor of handing them their diploma covers and celebrating every milestone step in the pathway with them. So if it's I completed the semester, I finished that class, I was really worried I wouldn't pass it and I passed it. And now I've got an associate's degree. I have a certificate. Now I've got my bachelor's degree or my master's degree. Every one of those things is worth celebrating. And we do it right. We do celebrate big here, and that's what I keep in mind in everything that I do is that graduation for that student.
Very nice.
Let's say you have a student and their family, they're coming in, they're touring the campus. Do you have places you recommend for them to check out while they're in town?
Absolutely. Yeah, no question. So I recommend, first of all, seeing the campus. Of course, it is beautiful. Taxpayers pay for this. It is free. Walk around. We have something called the Lion Loop on our campus, which is a pathway that's a mile.
Nice.
And we have people on our campus who consider it like their extended yard to their home. They'll come and walk their dogs. They'll come and just take a fitness walk or stroll around and sit on a park bench. So I always say, take advantage of the beauty of this place. We pay a lot for it.
Yeah.
Please
So
take
enjoy
advantage.
it. Please take advantage of it. I would certainly encourage them to try like local restaurants. Don't just do something that's a chain that you could get anywhere. Go to a local restaurant and eat out here in town. Most of those restaurants do discounts for UAFS students and families when they're in, but ultimately they're super proud of UAFS Lions, so they want to invite you into their spaces and fantastic food at lots of different places in town. So I always recommend that. And I recommend going to see some of the cultural things that we have, whether it's go to the visitor center, go to the RAM, our regional art museum, go, as I said, to the Marshall's Museum, go see all the murals in the community. Like, this is a cool place. Fort Smith is super cool. And I've never lived anywhere. And I've lived in big cities that had some of the amenities that we have that are just free or really inexpensive for people who are coming to visit.
Do you have a favorite restaurant?
Oh my gosh. So that's really hard. I love to eat. So I love the brand new Blue Point seafood and steaks.
Yeah.
I just took my sister there this weekend and we had a fantastic dinner. I love 21 West End, kind of a staple. Rolando's
Yes.
downtown. I would choose those anytime I'm, in that area. Piatto's New Italian, Prima Italia, because I'm a pasta girl.
Yes.
I would go to Van Buren and go to Pasta Grill.
Yeah.
I love downtown Van Buren. I mean, it's a stone's throw, and you can just walk around the cute little shops there or walk around our cute little shops in downtown Fort Smith. So I think you can get a cool new modern vibe out at Chaffee Crossing, but you can also get that safe, kind of fun, unique downtown experience here. So truly, it'd be hard for me to choose because I
Yes.
love every place I've gone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You are.
Yeah, you're
I feel
good.
like you are everywhere, and you talk about how you're everywhere anyways, but I feel like you are one of the people that when I came into the community, I just heard Dr. Riley. She's the shining example for what it looks like to be a leader within this community because she's so involved in it. So what are you involved in? And honestly, how do you make it happen?
I think I'm on like 10 boards or something right now, 10 boards. So you make it happen because it's important. And people prioritize the things that are important to them. My community is important to me. So I get a lot from living in this community. Fort Smith, Van Buren, all of these communities support me having a fantastic quality of life. Because I enjoy this place, I owe it to give back. And one of the ways that I do that is by serving on boards that will help to sustain this fantastic community. And when I say community, I mean the entire River Valley. So I'm on the Fort Smith Regional Chamber of Commerce Board. I'm on the Van Buren Chamber of Commerce Board. Those are about economic development and how we support business, but they're also about how we create affordable housing and how we create fantastic events and activities that will support quality of life. I'm on the United Way board because within a 50-mile radius of the University of Arkansas, Fort Smith, we have 1,200 nonprofits.
Wow.
And many of them struggle in terms of how they will get philanthropy, how they will raise money for their incredibly important missions. I love being part of the United Way board where we can singularly raise money to support fantastic organizations in our community. I'm on, workforce councils, and I'm the chair of the Marshall's Museum board of directors. Because again, sustaining those fantastic organizations means that we have wonderful quality of life in our region. So again, it's about creating the symbiosis. I am so grateful to live in Fort Smith, Arkansas, and I want it to be as wonderful for everybody else who lives here or thinks about living here as it is for me.
This is a little bit of a unique ending to how we typically do, but can we leave off with you giving some words of encouragement to maybe someone who's young, who's thinking about higher education, but struggling to see a pathway to get there, or maybe even more accurately, like a parent who's wanting to see that in their kid, but they're not sure how they're going to make those steps to get them there.
So for parents, whether you have gone to college or not, your child's college experience is not yours. It is different than the experience you had back in the day. I don't care how old you are. And it is theirs to experience for themselves. You can give advice, but don't always expect them to take it. And you can support from afar better than you think you can. So that's my best advice to a parent. My advice to a prospective student, that you're not sure if this is in your reach. It is. It's in your reach. If I could do it, anybody could do it. And you have to find the people who are your supporters, but you have to ask for help when you need it. Mm-hmm. So my best advice is if you're struggling with something or you're not sure how to make something work, you've got to ask the questions and you've got to create some relationships. And understandably, universities are full of people who want relationships with you. They want to be your resources. Frankly, their rewards intrinsically come from you being successful. So let them feel that joy in helping you be successful by asking questions and getting the help you need. If it's money, go to financial aid. If it's tutoring, go to your academic success center on campus. But ask for the help, because the people who ask for help are much more successful than those who do not.
Well, we appreciate so much getting this time with you. I know you're busy and have a lot of things going on, but just getting the opportunity to share your message, the university's message, I think is so important as we continue to kind of expose people and let them discover Fort Smith. So thank you
so much for giving us the opportunity. I think it is a pillar of this community, so it's a thrill, an honor, privilege to get to share that message and to be its biggest cheerleader.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.